welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about the day we were born. Subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up. And also remember, comment that you like our outfits. Comment down below. And share the video.
Back. So as you can see, we're kind of dressed down, we're wearing hats and stuff, we're ready to go where?
To the gym.
We're a little on the heavy side. I just gave birth to twins, and of course you had to fatten up with me, so I wouldn't do it alone, right? As promised, we're going to be talking about our childbirth video. All of the details,
all the process that we went through, the pain, everything.
We did want to vlog a little bit more when I was pregnant. It was just, as we mentioned, very difficult. So here's a glimpse of the pregnancy. And how quickly I gained the weight.
Because we knew that we would have our baby sooner than expected, we tried having as much fun as possible, as big as I was getting.
Did you think I got RSI?
Recording.
That is romantic, not writing.
Wait, guys, paint should have an eye in it.
It was crazy to see how much she actually changed, her body transformed.
I got hospitalized at 31 weeks. So the day I gave birth, I had just turned 32 weeks. I actually had been feeling really off. I mean, more than usual. I could not move. I really had to use like a, what is it, a baston?
A cane,
a
walking cane.
I was like, hey, I'm not feeling good. We went to eat, and then finally we went to the hospital. They told me I didn't have contractions, but they were gonna have to be keeping me because I had preeclampsia. They did want to give me like a shot to enhance the baby's lungs, and it was like a 24-hour, you take 2 shots. The goal was to keep me pregnant.
They just wanted to make sure she was doing fine, and then all of a sudden her platelets were dropping as well.
Finally, I ended up being there for a total of 5 days. This whole time Manny missed work. He was staying with me at the night at the hospital. He was not leaving at all. On a stroll. You're an ass. I'm not that heavy. They were pulling my blood every single day, every morning to see how I was doing, and it was just dropping.
Twice a day they were doing it.
Get them good angles, Brittany. You can't go into labor with crusty toes. Going on our daily walk. I couldn't get Frank. Oh, there he is. On my wheelchair. And it's crazy because he had to go back to work. The day I turned 32 weeks is when they came and they told me, hey, we pulled your blood again. It's dropped too much. You might deliver today. That's when I called you and I was crying.
The doctors actually had her sign a waiver saying, okay, if you deliver today, this is what to expect. This is what's gonna happen. From there, I actually just kind of panicked at work and told the guys, look, I'm heading out. Thank you so much. I gotta go take care of my girl.
I just needed him to be there because he's the one who calms me down. I was literally hysterical, crying, thinking like, I'm only 32 weeks. Why are they having to be born? Is it something they're keeping from me? My whole goal was to do like this cute video and have my makeup done. The day we actually went to the hospital, I did my makeup, I did my hair. I was all glammed up, but I had already been at the hospital for what, 5 days?
5 days.
So that day that they told me that, I was a hot mess. Like, you basically got there, I did my makeup and got ready to go into surgery.
You could see the stuff. Sí, está bonito. 1, 2. Tremendo.
¿Cuándo?
Dale.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
She looked amazing regardless, you know, it's just having her make sure she
I
feels
looked
pretty.
presentable.
She looked pretty.
I looked presentable, just because I knew that I wanted to have those memories and I didn't want to look like a dead mother.
Look at that gorgeousness.
And all of a sudden we were putting our hats on for the delivery room.
Smile.
I remember getting in there and when they were gonna put my epidural, I was kind of like, well, where's my man? I need my cuddles, I need the support. And
I was over there snapping pictures of my fancy outfit.
you know, and the whole time I'm shaking And I just remember that the anesthetic person told me, you need to stop, because if you don't calm down, we're gonna have to put you to sleep. In that moment, I freaked, because it made me freak out even more, even thinking that I might be asleep for my child's birth. And the moment that he came in, it's like I was able to relax a little, just because I knew you were watching.
All of a sudden, doctors were rushing into the room, and I was just out there in like a scrub. I just remember walking in and I saw her and looked straight into her eyes to make sure she knows I'm there and I'm paying attention to her, because that's one of the biggest things for her. You have to make sure she's good. If she's not doing good, the babies aren't doing good. Even if you're scared to death, you just gotta make sure you look confident at the moment.
I remember that they were like cutting me, or I can't feel it, but you feel like the jiggly movements, and I was just like, what's going on? His face was like, I see her. It felt like time froze, and I heard a cry.
Yeah? That was the amazing part where they pulled out Mylene.
Mylene is twin A and Kylene is twin B. I remember I heard that cry that Mylene had, and like it's like the shakiness stopped. I was kind of like, she's fine, she's good. But then again, I had 2 kids before, and the cry threw me off a little. Like it got softer, and that's what it scared me. And I remember asking like, what's going on? Is she okay? Like I became so freaked out, but I kind of wanted to keep myself calm still.
1 minute on the other one.
Thank you, Amber, for keeping everything straight. Are you both girls?
Yeah. Okay.
You gonna cry?
So beautiful.
But then Kylene came out, twin B, and then you told me like she's coming out.
It's them.
There you go. Oh, where's your hat? I have it right here. We have their hat.
I have that beat.
When I heard Kylene come out and I heard her wah, like super loud and like a regular baby, that's when I got more scared. What's going on with Mylene? Like, why didn't she cry that loud? And I just remember that I told you, babe, go check on the babies. I went back into my shock attack. I was shaking.
First thing, obviously, that we saw was Mylene. I saw her come out. She cried, and she looked like any other childbirth, like that little purplish color. And to be honest, I was freaking out. I did ask the doctors just to make sure, and I guess their explanation was that she swallowed a little bit of amniotic fluid from the bag. So I was kind of freaked out, to be honest. I saw her purple. Her sister was fully colored.
Okay, Margaret.
She was born at 28.
Yeah, bring it. Sorry, 17. Kind of a little early for me to know for sure. Thanks.
Dad, you can't take this from me. Are you available to
In the pocket.
Nothing like that.
Is that?
It's fine, right?
Are you taking a photograph or a video?
That's a video.
Videos are not allowed.
Went over, looked at her, saw her, she was panicking. I saw her shaking until I grabbed onto her. She relaxed a little bit more.
And I just remember asking you, what's going on? You were gone for like, what, 10 minutes? You already seen our daughters. I still hadn't seen them. They hadn't told me anything. He hadn't told me anything. And that's when he told me, Mylene swallowed a little bit of fluid. And in my head, I was thinking, he's lying. He just does he want me to freak out? Why isn't he telling me the truth? Where are my babies? Why am I not being able to see them? So I remember I was just crying. Finally, they brought out Mylene to me. Seeing Mylene was like such a big relief because I knew that she's the one who was having problems. So close to losing that baby that it was so relieving. When they brought out Kylene, it was like, I couldn't believe I was twins.
It felt like when somebody holds your head in the water for so long, and then all of a sudden they let you go, you just can breathe. You feel that air that never felt any better. Just to see them happy and good and swaddled up, looking beautiful. From birth, they looked so beautiful to us.
And they weren't even fully developed yet.
And they weren't fully developed.
It was amazing having them there. Like in my head, I was like, oh my God, like I had 2 babies inside me, not 1, but 2. Like it was like so unreal. Like I was looking at them and I was thinking like, oh my gosh, you're so identical. How am I gonna tell them apart? Took them away.
I followed.
My family was actually in my actual room where I was at, waiting for them to go through the hallway to be seen. They took them to the NICU, which is where they were going to be at. I couldn't be a part of it. It kind of sucks. Like I just went through this whole delivery and I got to see them for like a whole 2 minutes.
And I saw everything from where they put the IV in their little wrist, to them putting the monitors on them, on their chest, on their foot, and the breathing tube.
I remember waiting in the recovery room. My family, I remember that I was so thankful actually to Oscar for taking my kids to be there and a part of their little sister's birth. They actually were able to go in with you to see them. Manny finally came in to see how I was doing. Of course, I wasn't mad because I knew he was with our babies. And he was basically the escort back and forth. So I remember asking, do they have 5 fingers, 5 toes?
5 toes, yeah.
And thankfully they did. Finally, like they put me like on morphine. I was so thirsty, like extremely thirsty.
Couldn't have any water. They gave you just ice.
I kept on telling the nurse, I felt so bad. I was like, come on, just a little bit of water, just a little bit. And she listened and she gave me water.
Tired.
And I threw up. They kept on giving me water, I kept on throwing it up. Finally, I was stable enough to go meet the babies. In my head, I thought they look so perfect. I see them now and I feel like, oh my gosh, like they've developed so much. When everybody had left, it was just you and I and the nurse, obviously. I just remember that I had just changed and they had like a gown and then I kept on throwing up. But I do remember that when I was throwing up, like my chest was hurting. Like it was just, I couldn't feel the bottom part of my body, so just my chest was hurting and I felt like I just passed out. And I blacked out. Like I don't remember anything of that night.
That was one of the scariest nights of my life. They gave her morphine and then they amped it with something else just so they can take off the pain.
I had previously had a bad reaction with morphine another time, but I thought it was just a bad reaction that one time. I think I just am not good with morphine.
From there, she just kind of started dazing off, which the nurse thought it was normal because of the painkiller, her being tired, the operation that went on, and then all of of a sudden her heart rate started dropping and her blood pressure started dropping, and the nurse got scared, and I could tell right away she was scared. She left the room, came back 2 minutes later. There was about 5 or 6 nurses and doctors there in the room. I looked over at my girl. You looking at that person you love is just intense. It kind of makes you see that, like, how much you truly love somebody, especially on the bad moments. When I was looking at her, the nurse was trying to wake her up. She was scared, and I was asking questions like, why, what's going on, what's happening. And I made sure I asked questions about everything. Next thing you know, her heart dropped, blood pressure, they had to raise her blood pressure. They thought it was a drug, so they gave her another type of drug, like an antidote to kill the previous painkiller. They started giving her some chest compressions, started waking her up, put her on some oxygen because she wasn't breathing on her own. Her skin was turning gray, she was getting discolored. The whole time I was just stuck. I looked at her, I was so scared that I was gonna lose her. It just sucked seeing her change colors like that. I have never in my life seen that happen. She looked still beautiful, of course, but when that happens, you see her life just leaving her body, and it was something out of this world. I would never wish that upon my girl again. I love her so much. I don't know how I would handle something like that again.
So I remember waking up the next morning in still a lot of pain, and like I just couldn't figure it out. Like, why was my chest hurting so bad? That's when you told me. So I guess I lost a lot of blood, or my blood cells were still dropping even after I had given birth, that they had to give me a blood transfusion. And they ended up giving me a total of 3 blood transfusions. Couldn't move. I was like in and out. Like, it was just crazy.
At that point, her body even swelled up a lot more than when she was pregnant. She just couldn't be still. She had a lot of pain going on.
So I guess they couldn't understand why I was in so much pain, that they did a CAT scan. I had a total of 3 IVs. Which was one for the CAT scan, one for the liquids, and one for the blood transfusion, which wasn't all at once. They had to give them to me like 3 different days.
She was still getting blood drawn every hour for about the first 3-4 days after the pregnancy.
They ended up finding out that I had a
Hematoma. It's an internal blood clot, basically.
To know that you just gave birth to 2 babies and you can't even hold them, that you can't even stand, I couldn't walk, I was getting pushed in a wheelchair. 3 days later is when I finally got to hold the first baby.
And then 5 days later, I was able to hold the babies.
It was painful to see them go through so much pain, to see that they were under a light, that at one point one of them had an IV in their head because they were pulling them out. To know that they were on breathing tubes. It was like I would cry every time I would see them like that. We try to involve our kids as much as possible with the twins, to where we would have them all the time with us. had Kimmy pushing you with the wheelchair. You with David. It was so amazing to see growths that they were doing, like to know like, hey, Mylene is no longer on oxygen, and I'm thinking, well, why is Kylie still on oxygen? And then to tell me, hey, guess what, Kylie pulled out her oxygen and she's doing great, so we're gonna leave her off of it. That was like, oh my god.
Are you guys looking for dads?
I miss her face. Oh my goodness. She's a bad one. She took off her little tube.
I ended up being there for
A total of 13, almost 14 days.
this is something that's very near to us. It's something that's very personal. We hadn't even blogged, we hadn't done anything. I didn't even want to post their pictures. I mean, my daughter being purple, not breathing. That's another reason why we decided that we did want to post these videos, is for you guys to see, to get a better feel of what it's like. The unglamorous part of it, like you guys see my swollen face, my no makeup, my everything, but I wanted you guys to be a real part of it. If you're going through something like that, to kind of see, okay, somebody else has gone through that. But also because I want to be able to go back and see these videos and see the growth our babies are doing. Just the other day we were watching the video of our engagement and I teared up, I started crying, and that's why we keep doing these videos. We wanted to share as much as we could with you guys, and we will continue to do so.
You guys are part of the family, as you can see, so we want you guys to know that we're here. We're gonna share more about us, share our experiences.
So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching this video. We will be back with more videos.
Princess,
Schmuckums.
let's hit them with another one.
Today's post notification shout out goes to Liz Solis and Jose Enriquez. Thank you.